Hello and welcome to another Tabletop Ramblings Middle-earth strategy battle game battle reports. Today's battle report is Easterlings versus Dale, and it's the two new Easterling heroes against the two new-ish Dale heroes. In the red corner we have Rutabi, the new general, Brorgir, the magical caster. We've got King Brand and Prince Bard. These four new heroes are going to fight it out in a 400-point game to showcase the new profiles, to give them a bit of a test run out before dropping them into a bigger army. The Easterling Army is led by Rutabi, the new general, who will look into a little bit more detail at the end. Once we've played the game and got a flavour for the new profiles, we'll have a little recap of how they do. But right now, her warband is 5 warriors with shield, 5 with pike and shield. And then we have Brorgir, the caster, or Brorgir, who knows how to pronounce that. And he has with him 5 with bow, and 5 with pike and shield. And then he's also got a cataphract in there as well. The forces of Dale are led by King Brand. He has with him 3 of the new knights. He's got 4 warriors with spear and shield and 3 bowmen. And then Prince Bard has an identical warband for, again, 400 points of Dale. As we're just testing out the new profiles and how killy they are, we're going to be doing Lords of Battle. This is all about getting more kills and wounds than your opponent, and there's also points for breaking and points for killing enemy leaders. The camera angle is slightly deceptive, but the Easterlings are at the halfway point, and then the forces of Dale have just tried to anchor a little bit further away to get some of their bow shots. Rolling for first turn priority, and priority goes to Good, who decide to just stand still and shoot. Evil, on the other hand, advance, and then they take a volley of arrows to the face. Dale, with their strength 3 bows, volley off into the low defense archers. Only 1 miss, because they are basically elves, and then they get a kill on a 5. No shields on that front rank for the Easterlings, so 1 dies. So with a single Easterling casualty, we go into turn 2, and priority goes to Evil, who advance on the left, allowing Rutabi to get ready for some combats, but keeping away from the enemy king. Good then decide to charge in just Prince Brand for a cheeky kill and form up ready to do some damage. Their archers get 1 hit. Can it wound? No. Needing a 5 there. And then on that flank, 2 hits, but they're needing 6s now to wound these guys with shields. And they do kill 1. So then combats, a 6 there from the Easterlings. And not enough. Big debate whether to spend might or not, but no, Prince Brand doesn't spend the might and regrets it as he takes a wound, and so that is unfortunate there for the Prince. Priority turn 3 goes to Evil, and with Rutabi having a 3-up Master of Battle, neither the Prince nor the King decide to call a heroic move, which allows the combat to go leader on leader. Then sadly the footage is lost of Brorgir casting Tremor, but now you can see there's 2 guys with loom bands and 1 dead, and that is the Tremor going off, knocking those guys down and getting a kill. And there was a 6 in there, so 1 of the will is free with his special rule. Then Bit of an overview of the combats. Everything pretty much chucked into combat. And we've got some leader on leader action. Speaking of combats, Dale's king calls a strike, and with a 3-up Master of Battle, Rutabi gets it for free. And on the strike off, Rutabi is an easy fight 10 there, but the king is not. He does set a high enough bar, he can make that to a 6, but then Rutabi is far too good. 2 6s and the 2 pikes get 1 as well. They win that fight. They're rolling to wound. A solid wound on the king. He's going to take fate. He's only got 1, which he fails on a 1, so he's lost his fate and he's down to 2 wounds. That is quite unfortunate there for the forces of Dale. We then come across to the other Dale hero who's also taken a wound. He is against some guys that have set a high bar, but he has also got a 6. He's more than high enough fight value, and he is going for the kill, and he does get a kill. So the pikeman backs away, and the swordman is killed. Prince Bard there, showing everyone how it's done. Then, combats. Most things are just pushed back. Very, very few kills, although a Dale warrior falling there. One of the elite Dale knights getting killed. And the guy who's prone as well is stuffed up quite badly there, knocking everyone over with their daft spears. A bowman for the Easterlings does die. And then moving across, we have Easterlings backing away, and another bowman dying, not having shields, makes them quite vulnerable. The 2 there do push a knight back. And that is all of the combats. A mixed bag. A good couple from both sides dying, although a wound on Dale's king is a very poor start for Dale. Turn 4 priority, and it goes to evil. Good don't call a move, because their knights and prince have rules where if they get charged, they get +1 to wound, so they're not too bothered. Brorgir then moves to set up a tremor, casts it on 3 dice, but 1 of those is free because it's a 6 with the special rule, and then it goes D6 inches. So a big 6, it's going to whip through those 3. It's a 1 mil line, so it avoids the hero who would be able to resist it. Does it kill the first? No. The second? No. And yes, it does kill the last one. It's a strength 6 hit, so it's wounding on 4s, but it has knocked them prone, taking out control zones and allowing another leader on leader scrap. Then, again, we have an overview of the combats. Evil have just been able to tag most things, although there is 1 shot. He hits, he's moved, but he hits on 4s there, but a 5 is not enough to wound. So we go into the combat phase. And Prince Bard calls a heroic combat, because Rutabi won't Master of Battle that, because instead she Master of Battles the heroic strike from the king. Prince Bard wins and kills nice and easily, allowing him and his friend just to try and break through. If they could get on to Brorgir, that would be brilliant, or just thinning the Easterling numbers. Carrying on there with the prince, he wins his fights. He's against an archer and a pikeman. He's looking to stuff these up just to break through, but he doesn't do it. 4 high is pants, and they both just back away. Then we have leader on leader again. The strike off does go to the king. In fact, no. Fight value 6. They're both on a 10 there. Setting a high bar, the Easterlings get a 6. And it has to be the last point of might there from the king to draw the fight. We then have a big roll off here, and it goes to Easterlings. Rutabi not letting up, but no wound. She could do 1 with might, thinks about it, but it's just not worth it. He's got 2 wounds, no fate, so he backs away unharmed from another lost fight. The rest of the fights, just a lot of pushbacks. Nothing really dying. On the other side, a warrior of Dale does die, but then An Easterling as well, much more bloody on this side. The guy that's prone and his friend push back the Easterlings. And then right on the right hand side, it's just 3 pushbacks but no casualties. End of the turn and it's very even on kills. 7 dead Easterlings, 6 dead Warriors of Dale, although Dale have wounds on their heroes. Priority for turn 5 goes to Good, which is a swing there. Brorgir, however, has 2 might. He's better than a standard War Priest, so he calls a heroic move, which is countered by the Prince, but it goes to Evil. So Brorgir lines himself up onto those 2 knights for a tremor. It only costs him 1 will because the 6 is free with his special rule, and it goes D3 inches, far enough to get both, and then a strength 6 hit on the first, kills on a 6, that is brutal, and then the next, another 6, kills the other tremor, doing the work there. He then finishes up by just charging into combat. He's not very good in combat, but he might as well get stuck in. And then this, after that move, is how we're looking. The king there for Dale, surrounded by Rutabi and friends. It's looking fairly dire for the king. He's going to need some luck. We go into that fight. Rutabi wins at fight 6. There's nothing the king can do now that he's out of might. Now Rutabi gets to re-roll all failed wounds against a trapped enemy, doing the pikeman first, and that is a wound. So now the king has just 1 wound left. The first lot don't do anything. It is mightable, but we'll see what the rest get. Still nothing. So that's the 6 attacks for being trapped, but these are all re-rollable. So the first lot of re-rolls, and there's a kill. There was a pause there because I had to double check the rules, whether it was +1 or whether it was re-rolls. But either way, now he is dead. And that was a combat. So then Rutabi and friends moving on. That is savage there from Rutabi. She is amazing. She wins that fight again and stuffs up a Warrior of Dale. She is on an absolute rampage. We then have Brorgir, who wins the fight with a point of might. Only fight 3, but he might as well spend his might now just for kills. Dale not that far off breaking, and his pikemen rather, have got the kill. The Prince looking to do something, can't even might that. Dale have just not been able to turn up in this game. He was against a shielding opponent at least, so he's not wounded. The cavalryman has charged in 3 times now and been pushed back every time, as are most of the Easterlings. It pretty much alternates, good, evil, but eventually a Warrior of Good does fall. And then over on the right hand side, Easterlings just pushing back. This Easterling did lose the fight, they're just separating, but his defense 6, he takes 6 hits and is not wounded. Overview of the battlefield, and Dale are now just 1 away from breaking, and with their leader dead, it is going to be an uphill struggle. Turn 6, and it goes to Evil. Evil set up another line of tremor, and it does go off, but not for free, so that last will has gone. How far? 3 inches. It's going to hit both, but avoid the Easterling. Because of the way that it works, it's only a 1 mil line. It kills the guy in front and the guy at the back. Tremor has been unbelievable this game. And then he gets stuck into combat, because why not? We then have Rutabi, who charges in on the Prince. The combats now, they're really stacking in the Easterlings' favour. The Easterlings are now outnumbering Dale quite badly. The cavalry have charged in once more. We'll go into the fight though, and it's a Master of Battle time. Doesn't go off, so it has to be a point of might. But on the strike off, Dale have won it. So we'll let Rutabi and friends set the bar. They get a 6. It does put the pressure on the Prince, but he's going for it. He might as well try and get leader kills. Can he get a 6? Yes, he can. He has +1 to wound when charged, so he's going to be wounding Rutabi on 5s. which is quite nasty here. She is the leader. She's 3 wounds, 2 fate. She takes a wound. Backs away there. All those friends. She is going to need to fate that. She has got 2 fates. Can she survive? Ooh. She doesn't risk it though. She uses her, I believe, last point of might to save that. Then in the rest of the fights, finally the cavalryman gets a kill, but most of the fights just pushing back. Although there, an Easterling falls. Rutabi and friends get a kill, and an Easterling pushback there, but that trapped Warrior of Dale is slaughtered. And so the fighting very tense. Rolling to end the game. Actually rolled that slightly early. It should have been the end of next turn. But the forces of Dale are quartered. They've only got 4 guys left, plus the Prince, who has no might. He can't strike against Rutabi, who's already fight 6. This was a massacre by the end. Rutabi, absolute one-man army. She is amazing. The final score is 10-0. It really does show just how brutal that was. 5 VPs for having double. They were nearly at triple the number of kills and wounds. They got 3 for breaking the enemy and being unbroken, and 2 for wounding the enemy leader. So what do we think of these new profiles? Well, Rutabi. What an absolute monster. She is going to be allied into my Mordor forces a lot. She was amazing. 3-up Master of Battle meant that all of the heroics, realistically, that she tried, except the very last one, were free when she was countering. She got a lot of free strikes, so when the king was out of might, she still had full. Being fight 6 base really helped her. She won a duel based on that, and it meant that when everyone was out of might, she was out fighting them. And just awesome. Really, really good. She got a lot of kills and definitely did a lot of work there for the Easterlings. Her other special rule, which I didn't really think would be all that great, re-rolling wounds against a trapped enemy, that actually got the kill on the king. Because 6 attacks, effectively doubled to 12, she'll kill anything if it's trapped. Really strong profile. Next up, Brorgir. And if I'm honest, I thought that it would be a loss for the Easterlings because I thought he was going to be really weak and let the side down. He was only in because he's new. He was really, really strong. He got very lucky with Tremor, but getting 6s back when casting is really strong. He got at least 3 or 4 will back, and Tremor was awesome. Getting quite a few kills with it, knocking stuff over, just generally being a pain. He never cast it at anything that could resist, so that's something that would be a little bit different if you're going after horses on heroes and things, but after troops, really strong, really fun, just adds another element to the Easterlings. I play my casters quite killy, which is why I like him and used him just for Tremor, but of course he is a war priest, so he's got Fury and he can enchant blades to make Rutabi even more killy. Well worth the 80-odd point investment on Brorgir. And then we have Prince Brand. He, on paper, is really good. 3 attacks, he's 2 wounds, 2 fate. He should be quite survivable and killy, but he was just outclassed by Rutabi, and he just rolled really badly. He was a victim, really, of the dice in this game. It's rubbish to say, but unfortunately he just did not perform this game. But I've used him before because he's only a new-ish hero, and he is well worth taking when he actually wakes up and gets out of bed. And finally, the king. He did not perform. He was outclassed by Rutabi, who at the same points cost is just streets ahead. He tried his best, but it was not good enough, and Rutabi just whipped him. With only 1 fate, he's a bit too squishy to be a leader in my eyes. Rutabi definitely got the better of him. So hopefully you've enjoyed this game, getting to see those new profiles in action. If you have, please do like the video, do comment and subscribe if you're new around here, and do hit that bell button so that you're notified of future videos. Again, I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.